What would you do if your neighbors called the cops on you for camping on land you legally own? For Derek Lawson, that nightmare wasn't just some what if it was real? And it all started one summer night by the lake. Imagine this, you're finally out there, just crickets chirping, a faint mesquite smoke drifting off your campfire, the world feeling pretty close to perfect. And then crunch of gravel flashlights slicing through the dark and some voice barking, "Step out right now." Yeah, that happened. Derek's barely awake, rubbing his eyes, unzipping the tent. And bam, he's got two sheriff's deputies pointing beams right in his face. One's even got his hand on his gun. Derek's heart's pounding. Who wouldn't be on edge? "What's going on?" He manages, voice scratchy. The taller deputy snaps, "We got a report about a suspicious man camping on private property. We need to see your ID." Right then, Derek's staring at the lake his dad dreamed about, the place he just bought after his old man passed. 24 acres closed on it last month, a spot meant to be a sanctuary after long weeks, hunched over a laptop in Austin. Now it feels more like a prison than paradise. Still, he fumbles for his wallet, hands over his license. "This is my land. I bought it. Deeds in my name, Lawson, Derek Lawson." The shorter deputy eyeballs his license. "We'll see about that. Got paperwork on you." Derek nearly laughs. What is he supposed to carry his property deed every time he wants to sleep under the stars? Before he can answer, here comes trouble. A woman in a navy blazer clipboard clutched like a sheriff's badge. She points at him. "That's him. That's the man I saw setting up camp. This land is under HOA management and we don't allow this kind of thing." He stares at her stunned. "What HOA? This isn't part of any neighborhood association. I own this land outright." She stands even straighter. "I'm Marjorie Klein, president of the Lakeview Estates Homeowners Association. I know every single homeowner. You don't belong here." Now maybe Derek should have kept quiet, but you try staying calm when you're being kicked off your own dirt. You mean people who actually own the land. He fires back, voice steady. The words just hang there in the humid Texas air. Porch lights start flicking on across the lake, neighbors waking up, squinting out, muttering, "What did he do? Is he trespassing?" Someone yells from a deck, "Leave him alone, Marjorie. You don't own the lake." That cracks her confidence, but she folds her arms tighter. Derek pleads with the officers, "I just wanted to fish to camp. I'm not breaking any laws. This is my property." The taller deputy Sloan says, "Ma'am, we'll need to verify jurisdiction before we proceed." Marjorie's face flushes red. "Don't say I didn't warn you, he's lying." But this isn't just a misunderstanding. Now it's about control, and nobody's backing down. By the time Derek's out of his tent pulling on a flannel, 4 deputies are on scene, radios buzzing. He raises his hands. He knows what this looks like. "I just want to sleep on my own land. That's it." Sloan's careful. Here's the issue. We have a complainant claiming this area is under her association. We need to confirm property lines. "I understand, but you're standing on my land? That's what you need to confirm first." Marjorie jumps in. "He's camping where children swim, where families boat. I've kept this community safe for decades. I won't let some outsider ruin it." Derek's had enough. "How am I an outsider on land I paid every dime to own?" And then twist an older neighbor in a faded University of Texas cap. Shuffles up, mug in hand even though it's midnight. "Frank Delgado." "Marjorie, that strip by the water never belonged to the HOA. You remember the surveyor's markers back when the fence went in?" Marjorie snaps, "Frank, don't insert yourself. This is official business." But the damage is done. Deputies are eyeing each other. Dispatch is asking for parcel numbers. Derek gestures to his truck. "Can I get the deed?" Sloan nods slowly. Derek pulls a manila envelope from his glove box. Survey maps, signed Deed Everything. Sloan thumbs through the papers, muttering, "This checks out so far." Marjorie won't let go. It doesn't matter what papers he waves. This land has been under our care for years. Patrols, cleanup, safety checks that proves it's ours, if not in name. Derek lets out a humorless chuckle. "So you've been trespassing all this time and think that makes it yours?" Now, some neighbors murmur agreement. Others just look down. Sloan stands firm. Property law doesn't work that way. But Marjorie's relentless. I know what happens when strangers set up tents. I won't have this place turn into a campground. Derek shoots back. The only strangers here are the ones telling me I don't belong. Frank steps up. She's wrong. You can't claim land just because you mow the grass. Sloan says we'll verify county records in the morning. Until then, no arrests, no removals. Everybody goes home. Marjorie fumes. This is outrageous. What if he's dangerous? Derek points. You don't know me, yet here you are calling me dangerous for camping on my own land. How's that right? A teenager filming whispers. This is going viral. Then Marjorie demands to see the deed. Sloan holds it close. This is evidence. She lunges. Don't be fooled. He could be a squatter with forged documents. Derek laughs bitterly. You think I faked a deed for a ranch I don't own? Hanley, the younger deputy, tries to de-escalate. Maybe we all step back. No need to shout. But Marjorie shouts louder. This is our lakefront. We worked hard to keep it safe. Now he comes here pitching a tent, acting like he's king of the shoreline. Derek snaps, lady. I didn't ask for a crown. Just a fishing rod and some peace. Porch lights blink on, neighbors muttering. One says he showed proof. What more do you want, Marjorie? She fires back. Proof doesn't matter if it's fake. Sloan raises his voice. Until we hear back from the county, nobody leaves this shoreline. We need confirmation period. Derek sighs. Fine. Let's call the county right now. They have digital records. It's 2025, not 1955. Hanley smirks. Marjorie glowers. You don't know this man. People like him wander in and claim things. Derek steps up. You keep saying this man like I don't have a name. It's Derek Lawson. And the only trespasser tonight isn't me. It's you. Frank's back. You signed off on that boundary, Marjorie. You knew. Marjorie bristles. Don't twist the past. I protected this place. Derek fires. A deed is called ownership. If you can't respect that, maybe you're the one who thinks you're untouchable. Hanley may be feeling the tension shift. Asks why camp by the water, not the house. Derek's voice softens. My dad always wanted a place by the lake. He never got to see it. Tonight I camped where he would have camped. Simple as that. A few neighbors nod. Even Hanley relaxes. But Marjorie jabs, if he truly owns it, why doesn't anyone know his name? Derek says, bought it last month. Radios crackle dispatches, pulling records. Marjorie scoffs. Check if he has warrants. Men like him usually do. Derek holds his anger. You don't know the hours I work, the family I provide, for the taxes I pay. All you see is what you want. Suddenly the radios come alive. Parcel 3247B owner Derek Lawson bought last month from Travis County land auction, not within HOA jurisdiction. Silence. The crowd turns to Marjorie. The deputies lower their flashlights. Derek breathes out. But Marjorie, she just snaps. That doesn't change anything. We've maintained that shoreline cleared brush, paid for patrols. Just because the paperwork doesn't say our name doesn't mean it isn't ours. Derek laughs. So you've been trespassing on my land and now you think that makes you the rightful owner. The crowd buzzes. Frank says you knew the HOA had no rights past the fence line. Hanley says records confirm Mr. Lawson is the owner. Previous HOAs could be unauthorized. Marjorie explodes. Unauthorized. I've dedicated my life to protecting this community. Derek retorts, I'm not a stranger. The only trespassers here tonight are the ones claiming rights they don't have. The crowd stirs. A woman asks Marjorie if he owns it. Doesn't that mean you've been leading us onto land that isn't ours? Marjorie lifts her chin. We acted in good faith. Derek's patience snaps. No, you wanted control. Now someone's challenged you and you can't handle it. Even the deputies don't try to stop him. Frank says, you should have checked the records. Marjorie fumes. Don't you dare lecture me. I kept outsiders away by trespassing. Derek interrupts. By making yourself queen of land that was never yours. Now whispers ripple, neighbors questioning rules, finds the whole system. Sloan says, ma'am, county records are clear. This land isn't under HOA jurisdiction. Mr. Lawson has every right to camp here. Some neighbors even clap Marjorie's glare, silencing them. Derek asks, so what now? Do I have to fight this every weekend? Sloan hesitates. We'll file a report. If it happens again, there's documentation. Marjorie sneers. That's laughable. This isn't over. Derek. You're right, I'm not going anywhere and neither is my land. And the crowd this time claps louder. Sloan finally calls it, everyone clear out. Mr. Lawson stays. Anyone trespasses again, they'll answer to the law. The tension doesn't leave, it just shifts. By sunrise, the whole community's buzzing. Marjorie emails the neighborhood. An individual claiming ownership of lakefront property attempted to camp in an area long managed by the association. She doesn't use his name, but the division is out in the open. Some neighbors nod at Derek. Others avoid his gaze. Frank stops by. She'll drag this through the mud. At the cafe, folks whisper, "Who just buys land and camps like that?" He had the deed. Marjorie was trespassing, not him. Kids share the body cam footage. Derek's a legend to some, a target to others. Shannon, a neighbor, jogs by. I saw what happened. Be careful Marjorie doesn't take humiliation well. She'll double down. Later, Calvin Pierce from the HOA board tries to play diplomat. Sometimes it's easier to bend than break. Maybe work with the HOA. Derek scoffs. Work with people who try to run me off my own land. As days pass, the split deepens. Some want Marjorie out, others cling to the old ways. Derek realizes this is about power, not property. When Marjorie calls an emergency HOA meeting, Derek shows up with certified deeds maps, 30 years of records. Frank calls her out. You knew about that boundary. You just pretended it wasn't real. Now neighbors openly whisper. So you've been charging us HOA fees for land that wasn't even ours. Marjorie's face flushes. I did what was necessary to protect this community. Derek. No, you did what was necessary to protect your control. The room splits. Some clap, some glare. Shannon Stan's leadership means telling the truth. And you haven't done that. Derek looks around. I didn't come to divide anyone. But if standing up for what's mine divides this community, maybe you should ask yourselves why. But facts aren't the end. When people's pride is threatened, the truth alone isn't enough. Marjorie doubles down, warning neighbors about outsiders in rental parks. Some believe her, others roll their eyes. By week's end, Derek thinks of his father, the man who worked his whole life for a dream. Derek made it real. Now he's fighting just to sit by the water in peace. He lights a campfire, talking to the flames. You'd tell me to stand tall, Dad, not let them push me off what I earned. As the days pass, more neighbors join him quietly, admitting, I paid fines for using that shoreline. Guess I've been lied to. Derek just says, all I wanted was to be here, not be told I don't belong. The cracks in Marjorie's authority are growing. For the first time, people question instead of obey. And Derek, tired but unbroken, finds strength, knowing he didn't just defend a piece of dirt, he defended the principle that truth matters even when the lies are loud. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line between authority and overreach? If this were your fight, would you back down or stand your ground? Drop your thoughts below, share your story. Because sometimes the fight for respect doesn't end when the paperwork's stamped. It ends when folks finally decide to live by the truth.